Ever been slammed by something so huge, so earth-shattering, you feel like you could punch a hole through the planet?
Ooh, I know that feeling.
That's where we find Rama as we dive into the Conquest of Lanka.
Yeah, yes.
This part of the Ramayana, straight from conquestoflanka.pdf, is a wild ride, let me tell you.
Definitely.
We're talking raw emotions, hardcore alliances, and action that'll blow your sandals off.
These ancient stories just hit different, don't they? They tap into something deeply human, even with all the gods and demons running around.
It's kind of mind-blowing. Okay, so picture this. Rama just had his wife Sita ripped away from him.
Oh, man.
And we're not talking about your average heartbreak here. This is grief on a cosmic scale, like he could have ended the world kind of grief.
It's incredible how the text portrays it. Imagine being swallowed whole by rage, like the destructive power of Shiva himself. And that's where his brother Lakshmana steps in. He's the voice of reason, the anchor in the storm. He pushes for strategy, for calculated action instead of, well, universal annihilation.
It makes you think, right? How we all deal with intense emotions so differently.
Absolutely.
Sometimes in those crazy moments, you just need someone to ground you, to point you towards a plan. Makes all the difference.
Couldn't agree more.
But little do they know, fate has other plans. Tragic ones.
Yeah, here comes the dying eagle, brutalized by Ravana, but holding on to life just long enough to tell Rama about Sita.
Wow.
Even in its final moments, this eagle chooses loyalty, selflessly guiding our hero towards his kidnapped love.
See, that's the Ramayana for you. Constant reminders of loyalty, of sacrifice, powerful stuff.
It really is.
But finding Sita. Whole other mountain to climb. They need allies. And luckily, fate throws them a lifeline.
Does fate ever do anything else?
Uh-huh. Fair point. Enter a king named Sugriva, drowning in his own grief.
Oh, I sense a connection here.
Two leaders, stripped of their loved ones, brought together by circumstance. Talk about a shared language of loss.
It's a universal language, one that cuts through all the titles and the grandeur, just raw human pain.
And it's not just shared grief that binds them. Turns out, Sita's abduction leads them straight to Sugriva's turf.
You're kidding.
Nope. They find her scarf, her ornaments, confirming everything and solidifying their little alliance.
Okay, so now it gets interesting. This discovery, it's huge. It validates their fears, but also sets the stage for something powerful.
Right, like a strategic partnership forged in the fires of shared loss.
Exactly. Rama vows to help Sugriva reclaim his throne, and in return, Sugriva promises his resources to find Sita. The enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal.
Classic. But on a deeper level, it really shows the power of collaboration. Even in ancient epics, teamwork is key. Merging strengths, striving towards a shared goal. Timeless, really, whether you're commanding armies or just navigating life.
So true.
But there's a teensy problem.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Lanka Sita's prison isn't exactly next door. It's across a vast, unforgiving ocean. And that's where we'll pick up next time. So we've got this massive ocean standing between Rama and Sita.
Yeah, talk about a roadblock.
Makes you wonder how they're going to pull this off. But hey, this is the Ramayana. Where there's a problem, there's a hero with a solution. Usually a pretty amazing one.
Exactly. And in this case, that hero is Hanuman, the mighty monkey warrior, a total legend.
Oh yeah, he's a personal favorite. Strong, loyal, and get this, he can fly.
Oh, right, son of the wind god. Almost forgot about that little detail.
That's no small thing. And the story really highlights Hanuman's dedication. Imagine this tiny figure launching himself across the ocean. That's some serious faith and determination.
Talk about answering the call. But even Hanuman, with all his power, even he feels a flicker of doubt when he reaches Lanka.
I can imagine. It's not exactly a welcoming committee waiting for him.
No kidding. The text paints Lanka as this dazzling spectacle, right? Palaces touching the sky, gold everywhere you look, pure opulence.
Almost overwhelming.
Yeah, and that contrast is key. You've got this magnificent city, a symbol of Ravana's power, but hidden inside. Sita, stripped of her freedom, held captive in a simple grove of trees.
It's like this visual representation of the turmoil, right?
Exactly. Outwardly, it's all wealth and grandeur, but at its heart, it's a story of injustice.
And through it all, Sita shows incredible resilience. I mean, Ravana doesn't hold back temptations, threats. He throws everything at her.
Trying to break her spirit, to make her give in.
But she doesn't budge. Rejects his promises, stares down his threats. Talk about inner strength.
Absolutely. And that's what makes Hanuman's arrival so powerful. This surge of hope when Sita realizes she hasn't been forgotten.
It's more than just a rescue mission, though. Hanuman needs to prove he's the real deal. Earn Sita's trust.
And he does, with some seriously touching details. He brings Rama's ring, for one, a token of their love.
A physical reminder. But it's that shared memory, that story about the hawk, that really seals it.
Their own personal code. And you'd think after all this, Sita would jump at the chance to escape, to finally be back with Rama.
Right. Who could blame her?
But it doesn't go down like that.
Yeah.
This is where we see Sita's strength of will. She wants freedom, but not at the cost of her honor.
So she refuses to go with Hanuman.
She does. It's amazing. She wants to return to Rama, but on her own terms, not as a damsel in distress.
A powerful statement. Even facing these insane circumstances, she holds on to her agency.
Exactly. And Hanuman, ever loyal, he respects her decision. But before he takes off, well, let's just say he can't resist a little mischief.
He wouldn't be Hanuman without it.
Right. He tears through Ravana's precious orchards, just wreaking havoc.
What's a visit to your enemy's kingdom without a little chaos?
Honestly, but more than that, it's a message. He's showing Ravana that his actions won't go unchallenged.
A little payback. So, mission accomplished for Hanuman. But the big question remains, how do you get an entire army across the ocean? So last time, we left Rama and his army staring down this impossible ocean with Lanka and Sita on the other side. Talk about a logistical nightmare.
It's a classic setup, right? An impossible obstacle. But leave it to the Ramayana to deliver a solution as epic as the problem itself.
Right. It's not just going to be some little rowboat, is it?
Not exactly. The story could have taken the easy route, right? Have some god just magic up a bridge, but it's way more interesting than that.
So what happens? How do they even begin to cross this thing?
Well, Rama, he doesn't just sit around waiting for a miracle. He appeals to the ocean god himself.
Whoa, hold up. Like directly face to face with the ocean god.
Straight up. It's this whole scene, the ocean god appearing before Rama in all his glory, a true spectacle of power, the kind of thing that reminds you the divine is very much a part of this world.
I bet. It'd be pretty hard to miss that kind of visit. But even with the ocean god on their side, they still need to actually, build the thing. And we're not talking about a couple of logs thrown across the stream here.
No kidding. This bridge has got to be strong enough to carry an entire army, chariots, elephants, the works. But, and here's the really cool part, the ocean god, he's moved by Rama's devotion, by the just cause. He gives Rama the way forward, a path, but he doesn't do the work for him.
Like, here's the blueprint, kid. Now go build it.
Basically. And this is where the story takes another really interesting turn, because it becomes this testament to collaboration, to perseverance. Everyone contributes, from the strongest warriors all the way down to, get this, squirrels.
Squirrels? Seriously?
Seriously. Even the tiniest creatures do their part, carrying pebbles, grains of sand, anything to help build this bridge. It's this beautiful idea, right, that even seemingly small efforts, when combined, can achieve incredible things.
Powerful stuff. It's like we always hear about those grand gestures, but sometimes it's the little things, the showing up and doing what you can, that really make a difference.
Exactly. And think about the bridge itself, what it represents. It's not just wood and stone. It's this physical manifestation of their will, of all these different beings united by a common goal, bridging a literal divide to overcome a shared challenge.
I feel like there's a lesson in there somewhere. But while all this construction is going on, things are, shall we say, a little tense over in Lanka.
You think? Ravana's not exactly known for his calm demeanor. Plus, we've got this whole other layer unfolding, with Mandodari, Ravana's wife.
Oh yeah, she's a fascinating character. Definitely not your typical queen just sitting on the sideline.
Not at all. She's incredibly intelligent, perceptive. She sees right through Ravana's facade of power, and she's not afraid to call him out on his actions.
Which takes some serious guts, considering who we're talking about here.
No kidding. But Mandodari, she understands the gravity of the situation. She sees the writing on the wall, understands that her husband's pride, his refusal to even listen, it's leading them all towards disaster.
And she tries to warn him, right?
Yeah.
Tries to reason with him, get him to change course.
Absolutely. She's motivated by this deep sense of dharma, this understanding of cosmic order. She knows that true strength comes from doing what's right, even when it's hard, not from clinging to power. But Ravana, well, he's not exactly known for his humility.
He's so blinded by his own ego, can't see past his own pride, even when he's about to lose everything. It's kind of tragic when you think about it.
It is. It's a classic case of pride before the fall, and it reminds us even the most powerful among us aren't immune to the consequences of their actions.
Actions have consequences, even for demon kings. And speaking of consequences, things get even more complicated when someone from Ravana's own inner circle decides to switch sides.
Ah, yes. Vibhishana, Ravana's brother. He's another layer of complexity in this whole thing.
He's a good guy, right? Or at least he ends up on the right side of this whole mess.
It's more nuanced than that. He's definitely more principled than his brother, and he recognizes the injustice of what Ravana's done. But it's not an easy choice for him. He's torn between his loyalty to his family and his own sense of right and wrong.
Yeah, those are never easy choices to make. Do you side with family even when you know they're wrong, or do you stand up for what you believe in even if it means going against everything you've ever known?
Exactly. And Vibhishana's choice, it speaks volumes. He chooses to side with Rama, recognizing in him this embodiment of dharma, of righteousness. He's willing to risk everything, even his own brother's wrath, to do what he believes is right.
So here we are. The stage is set. The bridge is built. The armies are gathered. The lines are drawn. On one side, you've got Rama, this warrior driven by love, by justice. On the other, Ravana, consumed by pride, incapable of backing down. And right at the heart of it all, Sita, strong and unyielding, even after everything she's been through.
It's an epic showdown, centuries in the making. And while we're at the edge of our seats waiting to see how it all goes down, it's worth remembering what got us here. The sacrifices made, the alliances forged, the unwavering commitment to doing what's right, no matter the cost. The Ramayana, it's not just an adventure story, it's a story about what it means to be human, to face impossible odds, and to never, ever give up hope.
Amazing stuff. It's incredible how these ancient stories still resonate today, how they remind us of the power of courage, of compassion, of standing up for what we believe in.
Absolutely. And the best part, this is just the beginning. The battle for Lanka is about to begin, and trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next.